and thank you for having me here today. This has been just such an incredibly thoughtful and thought-provoking conversation so far. When I think of Passover, I think of it as just a time to reflect on our collective journey from slavery to freedom. You know, it's a reminder that we were once in bondage, that we could be in bondage again, and maybe even an opportunity to think about the ways that we are in bondage now, individually and as a society. And so I've always seen Passover as a call to action for all of us to make the world more free, not only for ourselves and our loved ones, not only for fellow Jews, but especially perhaps for the least fortunate among us. And I know that this year it can be a particularly challenging time to think about what kind of action you can take, because we're all sheltering in place. We're confined within the four walls of our homes or our apartments. And so first, I just want to call out JDCA and its leadership for, under these incredibly challenging and difficult circumstances, still finding a way to take action this season, still continually working hard to ensure that we elect a Democratic president in November, and to ensure that we elect a Democratic Congress and Senate as well. But I also want to focus on what individuals can do and what they can do from the confines of their own living rooms. So I'm just going to lay out three simple things, all of which you can do right after this call ends, or even if you've got a computer open right now during the call. And the first thing is visiting the JDCA website in the Take Action page. That's jewisdems.org/action. And what you'll see there is a bunch of petitions where you can sign your name, asking the president, asking members of Congress to do things to ensure that we're going to have free and fair elections come November, to ensure that everyone, Democrat, Republican, Independent alike, is going to be able to cast that important ballot and have their voice heard, and specifically encouraging universal vote by mail, which we know is an essential but also a very expensive endeavor to undertake. And you'll also see other actions that you can sign your name to there, everything from encouraging this administration to protect healthcare workers, to asking President Trump to invoke the Defense Production Act to ensure that we're using the full weight of America's industrial machinery to try to protect our frontline healthcare workers. So that's item number one. It's quick and simple, and it's just a click of a button. The second thing I think folks can do is contact your elected officials. Even if you don't know who those folks are, you can visit usa.gov/elected-officials. It will enable you to look up who your senators and members of Congress are, and give you their phone numbers. Pick up the call, and whoever answers the phone, tell them that you're Jewish, and that in this season of Passover, in this time of reflection about making our country more free, there are things that you want to keep in mind while they're legislating, and particular actions you want them to take. I can tell you that those calls are actually recorded, and it does influence oftentimes the decisions that our elected officials make. So that's another way, more directly, to have your voice heard. And the third thing I want to talk about is supporting this organization. And I know this is a really, really hard time to think about giving financially. So many people are struggling right now. And if you've joined this call and you're in a position of financial insecurity, I know that everyone here wants you to think about yourself and your family and your safety first. But if you're among the fortunate this year, if your biggest challenge is juggling teleworking at home with your children, or the fact that you can't go out to your favorite restaurants with your friends right now, think about going to the JDCA website and making a contribution, not only for yourself, but for those who are unable to this year, even in a small amount. collectively, when we pool our resources, we enable JDCA to continue to do its incredible work, and to be a collective voice for all of us. And so I think those are three quick, easy things that you can do this Passover that'll help all of us end up in a better place in November and beyond.
Hi, this is Carly. I am JDCA's new Director of Grassroots Organizing, and I just want to take a moment, first of all, and say how grateful I am to be a part of this incredible movement. Really, really proud to be here. Really believe that we have an incredible opportunity to make change here. If you have not already done so, please join a JDCA state chapter by going to our website, www.jewishdems.org. We're organizing digitally in advance of the most important election of our lifetime, and I really hope you can join us. Our state chapters are going to be critical to getting Democratic vote out in advance of November and ensuring that we retain control of the House and take back the Senate and the White House. One thing I really want to talk to you about is May 17th, that Sunday, will be our first virtual National Day of Action. You know, where we're going to be coming together and taking action from our homes, from our couches, calling target states, calling members of our community and telling them why it's important to get involved in this election and asking them to volunteer and join state chapters. We're in a critical moment where we are really building our movement, building our activist base, and building the infrastructure to have an enormous impact on election day. There are so many races in our 14 target states where the margin of victory is equal to or smaller than the size of the Jewish population. So turning out the Jewish vote is critical. And I know, that if all of you get involved, we can really take this over the finish line and win and bring forth just enormous change and a more just country in November.